What's up guys, Techmaster back with another video. So today we're going to be doing a comparison between the iPhone 17 Pro and the 17 today. I figured I'd make this video mostly because there are so many upgrades with this new base iPhone 17 and I really think it's going to be in such a good spot. So to kind of start off with the displays, they're identical in terms of display. Same 6.3-inch display. They have 120 hertz this year, which is awesome. Always on, dynamic island, everything is the same. And another thing that's literally identical, which I did not expect them to do, is they put the Pros with aluminum this year. And that, in my opinion, was actually not a smart choice because I've seen tons of durability tests and thermal tests of the 17 Pro, and it's not great. The aluminum's breaking easier, it's denting, it's cracking. I've seen some like durability tests and even thermal tests I've seen, and the 16 actually does better than the 17 because they have titanium. And yes, they did put a new thermal system in the 17 Pro, but because it's aluminum, it's not really helping. If they had put titanium like the 16 Pros and then added the vapor chamber, it would have been so much better. Like, trust me, they did this probably on purpose, but that's kind of unfortunate. It's also more heavy because of this new design in the camera plateau. It's actually heavier than the 16 Pro, so it really is just kind of you're not really getting a lighter phone whatsoever. So you get, I guess, most of these are the same. So the action button, the camera control, you get the same ceramic shield. And the 17 Pro has the A19 Pro chip. It's not much better at all in terms of performance. One thing you will see a difference with is this phone has 12 gigs of RAM, the 17 has 8 gigs. But to be completely fair, I have the 16 Pro with 8 gigs of RAM, as you can see here on the side. I'm just going to put it as the 17 Pro. I'm sorry, that did not mean to open that. But 8 gigs is completely fine in 2025. Like, iOS is super optimized for 8 gigs. I've had no issues even on iOS 26. Now, battery life is going to be slightly better on the Pro, but I've already seen tests compared the 17 Pros and the 16 Pros, and because, again, this new thermal system, I've seen pretty in-depth battery comparisons. The 17 Pro is like literally like worse than the 16 Pro. They claim 6 hours better on literally all models. So 6 hours better from the 17 Pro to the 16 Pro. The 16 is also the same. It's claimed actually 8 hours better, but so we'll have to see how that plays out. But like literally from first impressions and from tests, the 17 Pro, like iOS 26 has not been the best, but this 17 Pro has actually been doing worse on iOS 26 than battery life than the 16 Pro. Like, that's just what I've seen, what I'm saying. The Pros get, well, actually, they have the same center stage camera, so I don't even know why I'm going over that. The camera's gonna be better on the 17 Pro. That is one area where the 17 Pro is definitely better because you get the 48 megapixel fusion telephoto and you get higher video recording at 4K 120. And, yeah, so the zoom on this is 40x, which is actually pretty crazy. Again, it's not anything crazy if you're coming from, even a 16 Pro. It's not going to be that much better. You can just zoom in more, basically. But yeah, the 17 Pro is better in terms of camera also because Apple doesn't really mention this. They put, with the 16 and the 17, they actually put like older sensors in there, even though they may look the same. The 17 Pro has larger main sensors, same with the 16 Pro. So the 16 regular used older sensors, and it's kind of the same thing with the 17. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're a regular user, you will not notice difference, especially if you're coming from an older phone like a 14 regular or a 13. Like, you will not know, the average person will not notice, but that is something to keep in mind. If you're coming from, 16 Pro and thinking you're going to the 17 to get a better camera, that's definitely not true. The 16 Pro's camera is far superior to the 17. Even though they have similar features and all that, the 16 Pro is still better because it's got 5x telephoto and 4K 120 frames per second video recording, etc. Anyway, I'm going to move on to that. The 17 Pro also has the 8x telephoto. I personally wouldn't find myself using that. The 17 has way less zoom. It's not even close, like 10x on this phone. Which again, if you don't zoom in, you will be completely fine. But yeah, I do think that if you are going to zoom in, the 17 is not the best bet. The 17 Pro also has a USB 3.0 port. Kind of been over that. Now, in terms of price, the 17 Pro is more expensive this year. 1,100 or $1,099. The 17 is 799 for 256, and like literally starting at 256 gigs is a really nice upgrade, especially for this price and what the major upgrades in the display and all that kind of thing. I think it's just going to be a great overall phone. So again, I don't own personally any of these except for the 16 Pro, but that's what I'm just kind of doing the comparison here. So my personal opinion is I think really for the average person, the iPhone 17 is going to be such an amazing buy this year. It has like everything you need except for the telephoto camera. It's got an incredible display, same as the 16 Pro. It's got like action button, camera control. Like the 120 hertz alone makes the iPhone 17 an insane value. Like if you're coming from a 15 or older, the difference in speed and performance and thermals is going to be so much better, especially if you're coming from anything older than a 16. You won't get Apple Intelligence. Like it has a 3 generations better chip. It's also got 8 gigs of RAM instead of 6. So again, the core layout's kind of the same, but in terms of thermals, especially, it's going to be massively better. Um, yeah. So again, the 17 is going to be the better choice for most people. Like the 17 Pro only has a few advantages, like the slightly better chip, the Pro A19 chip, 12 gigs of RAM, telephoto camera. Like those are really the main things. In terms of the build and all of that, and like the 17 is going to be literally identical and it'll be significantly lighter. Like literally, if we go down to the size and weight, the Pro is 206 grams and the 17 is 177 grams. So like literally like 30 grams plus lighter for the 17. And the 16 Pro is also it's heavier than the 17, but it's still lighter than the 17 Pro because of that new camera plateau. So, like for me personally, I would probably just buy the 17, or you could buy the 16 Pro on refurbish. This phone is going to be like literally one of the best deals in iPhone period right now. Like this phone, the 16 Pro is just such an incredible phone. You have literally everything you need. The like some crazy good display, one of the best displays on the market, always on, ProMotion. You also get the A18 Pro chip, which in real performance, yes, it might be slightly slower, but in terms of everything, it's gonna be incredible. You also get a telephoto camera at 5x, and all sorts of stuff. So again, the 17 does have some advantages, like it does have slightly better battery life, but the 16 Pro's battery life has been really good. Even on iOS 26, it's been much better unless I'm going through remote areas or something. This phone has excellent battery life. I've never had anything too bad with the 16 Pro. And again, the camera, like the 4K 120 and stuff, is just going to be so much better than the 17's older cameras and stuff like that. The camera's really the main thing why I'd go for the 16 Pro over the 17, and also the titanium too. It's going to be a little heavier, but again, the titanium is such a nice finish. And as I said, the 16 Pro I've seen tests, it does better than the 17 Pro because it's titanium. And like literally even on iOS 26, I've never had any major throttling with the 16 Pro. No fast battery drain because of it. No, thermal throttling. No slowing down. Like compared to the 15, which I had before, the difference in thermals is significant. Like I didn't think I'd notice it, but it's been a lot better. So again, if you have the average person, I think you should get the 17. But if you can get a 16 Pro for cheaper, then absolutely do that. That is going to be one of the best deals in tech right now. So, yeah, that's kind of my final thoughts. If you guys have any other questions or you have different opinions, let me know down below. I'll be trying to do more of these comparisons, online. Obviously, it's harder because I'm at school, but I'll keep you guys posted. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.